bow, bow, bow,
Mm.
bow, bow, bow,
Time
bow,
is up. My time is now.
bow, bow,
Keep
bow,
coming up.
bow.
Brush your mouth like Colgate. That's my favorite part of the whole line or
Uh,
whole
I don't know the name, the
rap.
words. I don't know the
I
words.
think it's what's the first line? What's the first line? I can do it.
Your time is up. My time is now.
Time is
Yeah.
up. Time is now. You can't see me. Time now. It's franchise on Chinese. In case you forgot, I'm a felon. I'm still on Nike shell for money stack flat. As I can to swell a franchise boo and big minutes. A minute. I saw the minute. I want to sell you. Hear this horn finish. Soldier. And I'll stand you fighting because I'm storming on your chumps like a thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you're breaking it in. I'm harder than nails. Plus, I keep it on lock like a part of the jail. Slaughter and stale. Competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait catch. Oh, wait. I got my soul about the cocaine. In any weather, remember, better your boy so hot. You'll never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop the whole clan. Lay their ass down for the 3 second tan.
That was impressive, buddy.
I don't know the words. I just know the sounds. So that's why I did the when a minute better better. Oh God. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna talk about the leader of the
The
C
goat.
Nation.
Goat man, John Cena.
First in line with chain gang soldiers. The goat.
It was like, where's my fidget Xena? Here it is.
Oh, I used to have that one, bro.
Yeah, it's my fidget Xena. This is what I play with when I'm on the phone for work.
Just broke my heart seeing that. You know, the room that I'm
Um,
in, the new studio, which is the family's office, used to be my bedroom.
really?
So right about where I'm sitting, dude, I would have, they were called my guys. I'd have the guys set up and I'd be breaking table. Dude, I had an elimination chamber. I had Hell in a
Ooh, that's a
Cell.
good one.
I had a WrestleMania 17 ring with a hard top. It wasn't canvas, but it was extra big because some of the rings aren't proportional to the action figures. And so you got to play with them like this, and that's no fun because you can't do the moves correctly.
Yeah.
But I also had the first entrance stage I ever had was a WCW Nitro stage, and it had like an Ultimate X setup kind of thing. I don't know. You can if I saw a
I know
picture
the
of it
one you're talking
online,
about, actually. I know the one
I'm
you're
gonna
talking about.
I'm gonna save a picture and put it on the screen here so
All
everyone can
right.
see. And then I had dude I remember I was at my grandma's house and for Christmas one year. I remember I was a WCW kid,
Yeah.
but because it was an entrance thing, it didn't even matter to me. But I had the original SmackDown
This.
Titantron with like the circles. I had that whole setup, dude.
So my favorite was the one where the wrestler had it was a Titantron, the WWE Titantron, and the wrestler had like a little magnetic piece on the bottom of it that was recognized and it would play their theme song when you walked out to the ring.
Hell yes.
Um but yeah, I mean, and then I had a ring, I had the steel cage, um I had but I would always break the rings. Like I'd always end up like snapping the ropes or something like that. And then
You're hardcore,
when,
dude.
since I was a high schooler that still played with action figures, the best was when you had, iTunes came out and I had all of my downloads of their theme songs so I could have the theme songs actually play on the computer when they came out.
Yes.
And then my dad sold most of my action figures for $20. But and now here we are. I could have made a fortune selling my action figures.
Maybe I don't want your dad to show up at the WrestleCon booth
You know
now
what?
that I know that
We'll
little
we'll
detail about
we'll
him.
talk about it. We'll talk about it. His logic will be that I was in high school and we needed money. My logic will be, well, now I'm a 30-something-year-old man
Now look what you've
who
done
could
to
have
me.
sold all those action figures to pay for my mortgage.
Now he just enhanced your doll collecting.
Exactly. That's what it is. this is all the reason I need therapy, really. If I had a therapist, you would not see all of these action figures that I have because it all stems back to the fact that my dad sold my wrestling action figures for $20
You
when I was 15 years old.
you record in front of a wall of daddy issues.
Yep, that's what it is.
Well, guys, the 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 last time is now tournament will be taking place on Monday Night Raw in by the time this comes out, next Monday Night Raw, um, I believe. And we want to talk about who we think is going to be in this tournament, who we think should win this tournament. It sounds like it's not going to be just Raw and SmackDown people. It's open to everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some TNA faces in there, or maybe some legends come back. I think they have the opportunity to book this tournament and tell some really good stories in a way that we wish they would do the Royal Rumble every year. We just talked about it a couple episodes ago how they don't really do like huge surprises anymore at the Royal Rumble with like legends and the way they used to when we were kids playing with our guys. And I think they could do that because Cena's fought everybody. You could, this could lead to little storylines that don't even involve Cena. Maybe someone cost someone else a match, and yada yada yada.
So I just used ChatGPT, and I confirmed that the tournament is going to start on November 10th. So I don't know
Ah,
when they're going to announce who's going to be in it. But I do think you're right. I do think there has to be some surprises in there.
so when it
And
says real quick, when it says it starts on the 10th, see when I thought it was going to be like that whole episode of Raw was just going to be the tournament.
no, no, it's
Okay,
gonna they're gonna they yeah they said it's like that it will take place on SmackDown and will take place on Raw. Hey, it might even take place on NXT if there's NXT people involved. Is what they said in the um
the little really interview thing he
yeah.
did. Okay,
But going back to what John Cena said in the promo, right? And looking at the breaking the promo down. He said, I want my last match to be against somebody that had an opportunity like I had. Somebody that can make a name for themselves versus somebody that I fought before. But there will be old rivals, there will be new opponents, and there may even be people that don't even work here. So, and when he was saying that, some of the faces that popped up in there, I think that the obvious one is going to be The Miz will be in this tournament. Or at
you
least The
got
Miz
to.
should be in this tournament. And especially with everything going down with Carmelo Hayes right now, either Carmelo Hayes costs him, they're gonna either cost each other the tournament or face each other in the tournament, something like that.
You know what I would
But
love to see? This might be wasting too. I'm going to call them as a legend at this point. Um, I would love to see the Miz versus Nick Nemeth 1-on-1
well,
in
that
this
would be great.
tournament. Oh, I would. Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
But then I also think, looking at the people that were shown in there, I think there was a Shinsuke Nakamura clip. They had Solo Sikoa, Sheamus and Rusev are in there. Um,
You put our truth in there.
our truth has to probably be in there. But I want to talk about the people, like at least on my end, and I don't know what your thought process is, but people that I want, or at least I don't know, and I don't know when they're announcing it, and versus when we're releasing this, but the people that I think should either be in it or should have be in it. And there's three big names that come to my mind because I'm gonna drop Edge. If Edge was gonna be John Cena's last opponent, they would have announced that last night. There's no doubt in my mind that whoever is John Cena's last opponent will be somebody that has not been in WWE longer than 3 to 5 years.
I
Um,
there's only one name that comes to mind when you say that.
uh, Well, who are you thinking?
When you put it like that, and then when you take into Cena wants someone who's making a name for themselves, Braun Breaker.
See, I don't think so. I don't think
The only
Braun
and
Breaker and John Cena need to have the match against each other at this point.
I who okay, so who are you thinking?
So my in my head, right? I think that there's two viable options here, and then the unfortunate aspect of it all is that Gunther is going to be in this tournament, and how do you have Gunther lose this tournament? I have no doubt in my mind that this is what brings Gunther back, unless they save him for the Royal Rumble. And Gunther and Braun Breaker would be a phenomenal WrestleMania main event for night
It
one.
would be. That would be.
Which I would be totally all for. CM Punk being dethroned by Braun Breaker, and then Gunther winning the Royal Rumble and going on to that. But I do think that Braun Breaker, if Braun Breaker is in this tournament, then I think that either he wins or somebody has to cost him. There's no way that Braun Breaker will lose a match clean in a long time. Um, so I do think that Gunther is a viable option, unfortunately, because in my head, I feel like it needs to be somebody from NXT. And the biggest name that comes to mind for me is Joe Hendry.
Okay.
And is Joe Hendry a younger guy? No, he's not. He's not a younger guy. He's up there, but he is a guy making a name for himself. A guy who needs another big. He had the big opportunity at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. I think Joe Hendry is a glorified NXT star. When was the last time they even shown Joe Hendry on TNA TV? I don't know. So I'm
Who would
thinking,
be able to get the most mileage out of saying they beat John Cena? Because Cena, once this match is over, he's going to go away, but the person that beats him will be able to say, I retire John Cena. And I think if you're going to brag about that, you probably need a heel. So Cena's going to put over a heel in his last match. Who can annoyingly, at least until WrestleMania, tell you every time you see him on TV, I've retired John Cena.
Cardona.
Dude.
The Cardona is another one that I would love to be in this tournament. Do I think he would win it? No. But do I think that that would be, the best thing ever? Abso-freaking-lutely. Cardona would be a good one. Ethan Page, another one could annoyingly I beat John Cena in his last match ever. And there's a big name here that I didn't even realize until the other day. There's a huge, huge story here. Yes, did John Cena come out the full ruthless aggression thing? And that didn't work. He got this up. He said, in the clip, he's like, I want somebody that had an opportunity like I have to come out there and slap Kurt Angle, yada, yada, yada. When he had that opportunity, that character did not work. They gave him that opportunity, and, him trying to build that character dropped the ball. It wasn't until John Cena became the doctor of thugonomics when he became who he was. And then that's what led him to win that United States Championship belt against the Big Show at WrestleMania 20, and then main eventing WrestleMania 21 against JBL.
Well, and you also got to keep in mind when Kurt Angle, when he had his debut match, there wasn't a tournament to go fight Kurt Angle. It was Kurt
No,
Angle on the mic just saying,
open
somebody out
challenge.
there come and fight me. So, and then Cena comes out, and as far as I know, he had only had maybe one appearance on SmackDown, but he had like a couple matches on Velocity. And
Yeah,
when you watch the match back, even Cole goes, I've seen this kid a couple times. This guy's name is John Cena. So like no one knew who he was.
no.
So what are the odds that somebody who's relatively unknown or hasn't been in NXT but has been like working with WWE ID or whatever, what if they rise through the ranks and then
Cheeseburger.
somehow they beat Gunther in the main event of the tournament and then Cena's going up against someone who we've never heard of
So do you know
or
who
aren't
Brooks
used to
Jensen
seeing.
is?
That name sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar, but if I showed you him in a lineup,
No,
so that's who I want to win this tournament.
Brooks Jensen. Let
NXT
me look him
star
up.
Brooke Jensen. Brooks Jensen.
Brooks Jensen. Do 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 do
And the
do.
reason why, and what I was getting to, is that Brooks Jensen is an NXT star, but he is the son of Bull Buchanan, aka B2, John Cena's first tag team partner as the Doctor of Thugonomics, who John Cena pretty much buried.
Dude, I'm looking. I saw a picture of him. I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now. Uh, Performs on Evolve. Former one-time and the final NXT UK Tag Team Championship. He's been with WWE since 2001. Why not? Because
I
here's
think the story writes itself there.
that would is I would much rather that than Shinsuke, Dolph, The Miz, all these other guys, R-Truth. All if 10 of the people are clearly not going to be his last opponent, but you throw someone like Gunther in there, it's a dead giveaway, and there's no interest in the tournament.
Well, and that's what it is. I either want it to be, and that's what makes me a little upset. I either want it to be I wanted it to be a list of John Cena's greatest opponents.
That's what that I would prefer that instead of a bunch of old timers and then Gunther, who's just gonna, he's gonna whoop everyone's ass, and it's almost
'Cause-
like
yeah, because you have the possibility there of bringing in legends at that point too for one last. You have the guys like John Cena's listing off John Cena's best opponents he hasn't fought yet. You have Cardona. You have well, he never. I mean, the story with Cardona. You have the Miz. You have Edge. You have Carlito. Carlito stabbed John Cena in
that's
a
true.
club in Puerto Rico. Uh, you have
Jericho's still lurking out there somewhere.
Jericho. You have Solo Sikoa. They had the match. You have Austin Theory beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Um,
What do you think Lesnar enters it again as just like a way to troll John Cena?
no. Well, I
Oh
and
no,
that's
wait,
the thing
because
too that we're leaving that open. Like John Cena got squashed. Like why are we leaving that open? John Cena's last two matches he's gonna go out.
we got to see Super Cena one last time. The man everyone loved to hate because he was just burying it. The fact that his legs
Oh
are
well,
just
no,
sticking up on the camera.
he did beat AJ. I guess that was the last one he
Oh, that's
had.
true.
Um,
I love all these ideas. That Brooks Jensen one is very interesting, but I'm wondering if because he's on Evolve and he's never been on the main roster and he's
mhm.
already been there for 4 years, if I don't know.
Well, John Cena. When was WrestleMania 20? What year was that? Because
For
John Cena got
2004.
signed in what 2000? Okay, I guess it only took him 2 years to get to where he was.
The story writes itself, and WWE could do like, Cena vignettes talking about his early career, and they could mention Bull Buchanan, and then you could have the commentary team when Brooks Jensen is coming down the ramp for the first time or whatever, and people are just starting to get to see him on TV on like the main roster where these tournaments are going to be taking place. You have Cole or whoever say, "Oh, this guy Brooks Jensen is Bull Buchanan's son, and we saw Bull Buchanan in the video package earlier." Like,
Yeah.
it's easy to just, you know, for the
Or
TV.
even like looking, and putting in, Bray Wyatt obviously can't be there. John Cena fought Bray Wyatt twice. I was looking at John Cena's WrestleMania opponents. Fought Bray Wyatt twice. Fought The Miz twice at WrestleMania, but fought Bray Wyatt twice at WrestleMania. Um, Uncle Howdy being in there in this tournament too. He doesn't have to lose clean, but being in the tournament, representing the Wyatt Six, representing Bray Wyatt, who would have been in the tournament if because he's one of John Cena's greatest opponents.
Would you
Um,
like to see Uncle Howdy wrestle for a spot like this, get with the gimmick in mind, Or would you rather see John Cena like cut a promo or something or walk backstage and there be like a interaction between the Wyatt Six and John Cena, and then you get your Bray Wyatt, acknowledgement there.
I would want it. Like, actually, I think, oh, that gave me chills, buddy. That gave me chills because I'd want it, but I'd want it to be with no words. I'd want
First thing
John
that
Cena to be walking back there, staring down Uncle Howdy and staring down the Wyatt Six, and a mutual sign of respect from Bray Wyatt's like memory.
right, like I the most similar thing I can think of is when Ric Flair retired on Raw and the whole roster was out there, but then
Hmm.
Undertaker came out as the Undertaker. He did
Yeah.
the and
Then
so
Leave the Memories Alone by Fuel played. Leave the memories alone.
oh man,
Can't
I
change
think you could.
anything. And then he shows up in TNA and fights Mick Foley a year later.
Wow, I just saw a clip of Mick Foley in TNA putting himself
Well,
through a
listen,
table.
Mick Foley had one of the best TNA runs too.
Everyone had a good TNA run if you think
Yeah.
about it. It was just TNA never had a good run back then. On an individual scale, TNA was all those wrestlers were doing really cool things. Just as a company,
Curry Man.
you know.
Oh, you know who else though? John Cena in his very first SummerSlam fought Booker T.
Oh yeah, dog.
Um, I think it'd be a cool way to bring Baron Corbin back for.
Dude, talking about Baron Corbin upsets me because he had so much potential. He should have been a WWE champion. He should have never been Happy Corbin. He should have been the Lone Wolf. He was
Yeah,
Braun Breaker before Braun Breaker.
yeah,
He wasn't as fast, but the whole wolf thing, the whole dog thing, that was Baron Corbin.
it was.
Anyways.
Wade Barrett, also another good one.
Ooh.
Good story there. But like you said, the likelihood of them doing anything cool like that is very slim. I think there'll be like three or four newer guys in there, and the rest will be people that we know are just not going to win. Um, and you just got to count on it being either Gunther. If Gunther is in it, Gunther wins.
Man.
If he's
So I
not
can't
in
think
it,
of anyone that can put Gunther up like I don't know. Think of how long he was the IC champ for, how
yeah.
long it took Jey Uso to beat him.
Unless like that is, it comes down to that person and Gunther, whoever the true underdog person is, and Gunther, and then they beat Gunther, and then they go on to beat John Cena in like a full underdog, overcome all of the odds against me. I'm the next John Cena um type of situation. There's no way that Gunther and John Cena is not the last match for John Cena. And I honestly think that Gunther needs to squash John Cena too.
And Cena can afford to do that, A, because he's not going to wrestle again. And who was it that Cena was cutting the promo against a couple of years ago? And he made the comment about how he hadn't won a singles match in like 5 years. Maybe it
It's
was
when
Austin Theory.
yeah.
But yeah, so Cena's, you could do anything to that guy. And the last thing they need to think about when choosing a winner is John Cena's legacy.
No. Because it's
You're
already
not
done. It's already written.
exactly. So no matter who he fights, no matter how it ends, like unless he has a retirement match like Sting, where brings his kid out and the different Sting face paints, and it's just
Yeah.
a joyful, wholesome spot fest, which they're not going to do. He already did that with AJ Styles.
Yeah.
The ending does not matter. The ending is all about who
Well,
his opponent is. It does not matter to Cena whether he gets busted open and gets taken out on a stretcher. It doesn't matter if, it's a cheat to win victory.
I think I will be disappointed if they do not give him the opportunity to address the WWE universe after the match is over with, the best way that John Cena knows how. And because he's not a good wrestler. He's a phenomenal guy on the microphone. And an amazing character. But I mean, I don't know. He's really shocked me with his wrestling skills in this run. Not outside of the 5 moves of doom that he has. Um, but I am worried that they give it the Goldberg treatment, where he gets 2 minutes and they cut the broadcast. Um, because John Cena is a much, much, much bigger star than. Listen, I would say John Cena is a bigger star than the retirement tour of Ric Flair, Goldberg, any of them. Even I hate to say it to you, buddy, even Sting.
Oh no, of course I'm not. John
So
Cena is like
the goat.
he's dude. I mean, he is today's fans. That this is their like when we were kids. Cena is like the Stone. Whenever Stone Cold came back when we were kids, this is like
Yep.
we're in the same. Everything's circular. It all comes back.
And they won't do it, but it's a missed opportunity if they don't have The Rock come out and shake John Cena's hand at the very end.
Babe.
Are you agreeing with me?
Oh, sorry, Lane just walked in here.
Oh,
That's why I just looked all pissed.
oh.
Anyways, what were I'll cut that part out. What's the last thing you said?
That they need to have The Rock.
I think if they had The Rock come out, that would be smart. And I also think that his entrance needs to be extra long.
Yeah,
Does he run down to the ring or does he walk?
he walks.
What
I think he walks, which would be cool. What would be really cool is that if then he hands over that People's Championship belt to John Cena. Because ultimately, John Cena is more of a People's Champion than The Rock is.
The Rock's not giving that shit
No, probably not. But it
up.
would be cool.
All right, everyone. That's about all the time we have for today. Let us know who you think John Cena's last opponent will be. Give us all the details. Book it. Book it. Fantasy wrestling. Book it. Tell us in the comments. Share this video with your wrestling friends. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, HITFPOD, and then subscribe to the channel that you're watching this on right now.
Boom.
Boom. Catch you later.